Hi guys, PJ here. Today we are working on a 2003 Mini, Mini Cooper model actually, and we're fitting a new radio in place of the original cassette player. Items needed for you to be able to do this installation are wiring harness adapter. I've got an auto leads one here, PC254, and again an auto leads fascia, plastic trim panel to hold the radio in. We have FP0605. There we go, and also an aerial adapter. There you go, little stubby aerial adapter, PC527H. All this is needed, we're fitting a Pioneer it's not even a CD player, let me get this right, it's a USB Bluetooth radio. So, to start the installation on this particular vehicle, you have to remove a few bits of trim, starting with the gear lever surround. Now this is a really nice and easy bit to do. All you've got to do is pinch it and basically pull. There you go, up it pops. It's got some like little pointy clips on the bottom of it there. So pull that up, get that out of the way. Put your hand underneath and pop up this section. Move that out of the way, like so. And in there you will notice two Phillips screws. There we go, 1, 2. Undo your two Phillips screws from this panel, which I'll quickly do now. There we go, both Phillips screws removed. Then go forwards to where your cup holders are, and you'll notice buried under all the junk that you've got in there, so let's face it, most people just fill this up with junk. There's a Phillips screw there, and pop this out quickly. 1 second. There we go, another Phillips screw there. Remove both of those Phillips screws. And there we go, both screws removed, put to one side safely. Magnetic screwdriver is ideal, by the way, to just, pull them out with it, otherwise you're scratching around trying to get them. Next we're moving around to the side panels. Now on here you've got two TX30s on this side, and you've got two TX30s on this side as well. One top and one bottom there. Now you're going to have to sort of get to these. They can be a little bit awkward. The passenger side is very easy. You can just get a TX30 screwdriver and undo them. They're quite a chunky bolt, but they're only old in plastic, so they shouldn't be too tight. I'm just going to go on ahead and remove both of these on this side. The other side you may be better off using a socket so you can clear the steering column easily. Obviously a big screwdriver is going to go past the steering column. Depends what you've got, but TX30 is your size. There's 1, 2. And there's the lower one. Now you see how near the screwdriver is to the steering column there? That's where I say you're going to need a socket really. And that one's out. And now the last awkward one. Okay, so with all 4 screws removed from these panels, yeah, the panels become sort of loose. What you've got to do is sort of pull this back, yeah, because obviously it's unbolted now, so it's all loose. Everything goes rather loose. And you just need to manoeuvre these out of the little holders that they're in. There you go. So if you just sort of pull them forward and drop them down, they actually come out, yeah? Now you can remove them completely. You can just sort of lift them out. They're only a plastic thing. They've got like a foam pad underneath, but you don't really need to, so just sort of splay them, open them up like that, and you can get to the mounting screws for the stereo. Now the stereo is held in with Phillips screws, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and remove those 4 screws. Okay, and in the blink of an eye there, or a bit of camera magic, we've removed all 4 screws. Yeah, so grab hold of your stereo and just sort of pull it forward. Yeah, they stick a little bit sometimes. You're going to drop it down onto this area, so you may want to put a bit of padding there. You don't want to damage any of your plastics, etc. Just move the gear lever, get your padding, a bit of cardboard will do, and pull forwards. There we go, drop it down. On the back here you've got the BMW, their version of quad lock. You just pull the top up. Yeah, sometimes they're stiff, so you can stick a little flat blade screwdriver under here to raise it. Just be careful when you do, because if you're using a metal screwdriver on plastic, you could crack it or snap it. So just do it gently, yeah. So pull it up, and then it'll go. We've got a stiff one here. Yeah, we got a stiff one. take the aerial off just quickly, pull that off. Yeah, nice simple push fit. This, just pull it up, or like I say, you might have to lever it, put something underneath it, which this one is being a bit stiff. Just pull it up and out. There we go, off it comes. Yeah, you're now free to basically remove the radio. You can take that out of your way, create some space. There we go. And you've got on the back here a plastic knurled knob that you need to remove. It's just a mounting knob. Just unscrew that. Your cabling's sort of tidied up, attached to it, not it's on an attachment. There we go. And that's free. That's your radio removed. So that's the first half of the job done. Okay, so next up, when you've freed everything up and got your wiring hanging out of the dashboard, is to unpack everything. Now, if you unpack your radio, normally a radio will come with its own little, a little wiring harness there that you plug in the back of the radio. Put that safely to one side. And this particular radio comes with a microphone. Now, all we're going to do with the microphone is run the cable from the dashboard up and under here, and then up the side pillar and across to where the rear view mirror is, so it sort of pokes out just up here. The reason we put it near the rear view mirror for the microphone is if you've got your passenger window open and you put it up in the top right corner, you will hear the wind noise from it. So if possible, if the cable's long enough, if you've got a microphone, put it near the mirror, the interior mirror. Okay, so what you're going to need to do is just slide the little metal cage off your radio. Obviously, if you've bought a CD player radio, it's going to be a lot longer, deeper than this one. A lot of the manufacturers are now dropping CD as an option. It's sort of dying out. Put your cage to one side, and you're going to need to get your fascia. So your plastic fascia trim, as such, yeah. Just slide it through and line up the lugs. Yeah, there's like some white plastic lugs. Line them up and it sort of snugly fits over them. There you go. And then put your four mounting screws back in. The Phillips screws that hold the original radio in, you're going to pop them back in here. I'll just go ahead and do that now. Okay, with all mounting screws back in, all four, I'll quickly pop the microphone cable through to the footwell there, and I normally just tie it around the wiring loom to stop it getting pulled back through while you're faffing around with everything else. You can now put back these silver plastic legs, which can be a bit awkward, a bit tricky to do. You've got to sort of manoeuvre everything back into place. Like I say, they are a bit stubborn sometimes, these are. There you go. Don't go mad with it. I mean, they are only plastic, but sometimes you do have to sort of flex them slightly to get them where you want them. Once you've got them lined up, you're looking at putting your TX30 screws back in again. Like I say, it does take a bit of shuffling around to get them lined up until you get your screw holes lined up. So when you've done that, like I say, there we go, clunk, we had that one going, didn't we? There we go. Now we'll put the TX30s back in. Okay, we've replaced all four TX30s. There you go, 1, 2, 3, 4, all back in again, so it's nice and solid. Then come down to your cup holder area and position your screws in. Like I say, quite tricky sometimes. The holes do get gummed up with crumbs and bits and bobs. So just line them up with the plastic grommets that are underneath and give them a quick nip up. Not too tight, it is only plastic. And then drop back to where you popped out this panel, and again just nip them up, only being plastic, you don't need to go mad on it. 1, 2. Now what can happen on these, when you pull these out, which has in fact happened on this car, metal spring clip comes off, look. You see it's one of those there and it's actually come off. So all you've got to do is slide it back on. They're on like little sliders and you just pop them in. They are metal, they are springy, so you've got to, push them in as such. Once it's pushed home again, I mean, I'm going to need both hands just to sort of push this in, but you can go ahead and slide that in. There we go, clip pushed home fully, and then pick it up and pop it back in its original resting place. There we go, click. That bit's now in. When you're relocating your gear surround, you'll notice that there's a large point lug, only in one area. These are smaller, and it lines up with a large hole just there, if you can see that. Yeah, so it only goes one way round, sort of thing. Slide it in and click, shove it down, all done. Yeah. There's a bag over the gear lever just to stop it getting scratched. It's a common little trick, just saves any marks on it. Okay, now if you come back to your radio wiring, get your adapter that you've purchased, and you notice there's a male female fitting. You've got the male end here and female here, which line up. So you just basically line it up and put it together. Quite tricky one-handed. I'll cheat. There we go. So you shove it in and then lock that down. Yeah, nice and simple. And then you want the same for your aerial adapter. Get your little stubby aerial adapter, pop that there, and that just clicks in. Like I say, I can never do anything one-handed. I really must invest in a camera that'll keep my hands free. There we go. Pop your aerial adapter in, and then you're ready to use your cage. Now your cage there, what you're going to do is drop all your wiring through it and shove it into the hole, which I'll quickly do now. Okay, cage shoved in all the way around, wires fed through it, yeah. And then go round and basically just twist a few of the mounting, locating bits down, just to stop it from going anywhere. Some of them go, some of them don't. You've got to faff around until you find the ones that will go. There we go. These are just to secure the cage, to stop it from falling out, basically. You need it nice and tight. Some at the top as well. 1, 2, and another one. There we go. It's nice and secure. It's not going anywhere. Okay, next up you need your radio, and this is the easy bit. Get the cable that comes with the radio. That one. Click it in as such, and you'll notice that the blocks, male and female, they plug onto these blocks here. Can't get the blocks wrong. One's for speakers and one's for power, and they've got offset pins, so you cannot get them the wrong way round. Just click them in and you'll hear them lock. Yeah, they're like clicked in. Obviously plug the other end in your radio, and I'll put my microphone here as well plugged in. And don't forget your aerial cable, which you're going to plug into this circular socket on the back of the radio, like so. There we go, aerial plugged in, yeah. And then tuck all your cables neatly out of the way, so they're down the back, hidden away. Don't trap anything, just take a bit of care. And line your radio up with the cage that you've fitted, and just gently ease it in. They can stick on the metal frame, which is a bit annoying. There we go. Shove it in. Don't shove it all the way in, just leave it out a little bit. At this point you want to be testing the radio works, okay? So you're nearly done, you're nearly finished. Just get your keys, put your ignition on, and make sure the radio comes on and stores a radio preset station. We'll just quickly do this. You want it in English language, you do have the options on this particular one. There we go. Like I say, this is just a quick setup of this radio. I mean, every radio is different. Just press source and get radio on. Okay, tune yourself a radio station in. Save it. So that's saved on a preset. And then turn your ignition off. Okay, take your key out, count to 5. And put your key back in and make sure it comes back onto that radio station, which it does. Once you've done that, switch your ignition back off again, shove your radio in until it clicks, like so. Ignition back on, all working. And there we go. That is how you fit an aftermarket radio in a Mini Cooper. If this video was any help at all, please click like on your way out, and if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments section below. I will try and answer you the same day. Sometimes it can be the next day, depends how busy I am. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for now.